What if I told you that the greatest prison has no bars and no locks? It's autopilot. Millions of people wake up, work, pay bills, and go back home believing that one day everything will change. But that day never comes. The paradox is that while they blame the government, their boss, or bad luck, they themselves hold the key to their own cell. Change that feels far away starts with a single thing: decision. And once you grasp this, life can take a leap that doesn't depend on crises, salary, or timing. Get ready, what comes next may flip everything you believed about destiny and freedom. He wakes up every day with the feeling of merely surviving, a rigid routine that drains enthusiasm like a vacuum. He works at a job he hates, repeats tasks on autopilot, and counts the hours until quitting time like someone waiting for a train that never arrives. Sometimes he tries to convince himself with that famous line, "One day it will change," as if simply saying it could trigger transformation. But the truth is harsh. Change demands rupture, and rupture hurts, in habits, comfort, and certainty. Yet when he imagines reaching old age, the pain of never having truly lived is far greater. He lives putting out fires, solving urgent problems and leaving what really matters for later, until life becomes an endless inbox. Every postponed commitment leaves a piece of his own story behind, and time, relentless, never returns lost chapters. Growth requires choices, trading immediate comfort for future quality. For example, swapping hours on social media for reading Atomic Habits or taking a practical course that turns a skill into income. It's uncomfortable, of course. Starting a new habit demands both mental and physical effort, but those results become lasting foundations. The biggest trap is believing that tomorrow is always a good start. Tomorrow is the same for everyone. There are simple steps he can take today. Block 30 minutes to plan the week, schedule a call with someone who inspires growth, or set aside $10 for an experiment fund. Life asks for concrete choices, not vague promises, and choosing often means leaving comfort behind with a crooked smile. Still, something deeper begins to stir, pushing him toward the next step where he'll discover the inner power he's been ignoring. Inside every person is a force waiting to wake up. It's not talent, dependent on genetics, nor luck, which drifts like the wind. It's decision, pure and simple, that quiet turning point when you choose to stop sabotaging yourself. It's getting out of bed when the pillow pleads, saying yes to yourself when everything around you whispers later. Once awakened, this force transforms ordinary days into fuel for an extraordinary life. Decision is action in the dark. It's flipping on the light of your own path. It means waking up earlier even when your body begs for 5 more minutes. It's studying when you're tired, opening a finance or personal growth book while the house sleeps. It's putting on sneakers and walking even when it rains, because the commitment is with your future, not the weather. Each of these small gestures lays bricks for a new identity that doesn't rely on applause to keep going. This power strengthens with every choice made in silence, during early mornings and ordinary Mondays. That's where real confidence is built, the kind that shows later in a job promotion or the first client of a side business. And the more it's used, the clearer it becomes that life was never against anyone. It was waiting for proof of commitment. At this point, consistency begins to shine as the key that can outlast any excuse. Eventually the curtain falls and the truth appears. Looking for someone to blame is pointless. Neither parents, nor government, nor economic crises are steering your life. Admitting this can sting because it means giving up the comfort of excuses. But it is also liberating. Once you realize every decision you made shaped the present, a new thought emerges. If you created this reality, you can create a better one. Taking responsibility isn't self-punishment, it's taking the driver's seat. It's looking at your life and saying, I chose this job, these spending habits, this delay. And that's not a penalty, it's a chance to rewrite the script. For example, noticing that you live paycheck to paycheck might push you to study personal finance, cut hidden expenses, and invest even $20 a month in an index fund. Small moves that, over time, completely transform the plot. This mindset changes everything. Problems stop being monsters and become raw material for the next chapter. Every setback turns into a lesson, every loss into insight. It's like finding out the map of your life has always been in your pocket. And from here, the next step becomes obvious. It's not enough to accept authorship, you must design, with strategy and vision, the reality you want to live. Awareness is half the game, strategy is the other half. Without a plan, the energy of decision scatters like wind. The first step is simple: define goals that fit the present. Instead of saying, "I want to change my life," try, "I'll spend 30 minutes a day on my personal project," or "I'll cut one unnecessary expense per week." This clarity transforms change into a measurable path that fits your budget and your schedule. Next comes protecting those goals from distractions. Create a morning ritual where the first 60 minutes are dedicated to what matters most: reading, financial planning, or exercise. If financial health is your aim, set up an automatic investment account. If learning is the goal, choose one book per month or a specific online course. Repeating these actions builds a system that works even when motivation fades. Finally, align the plan with the identity you want to create. It's not just about doing, it's about becoming someone who naturally acts that way. Picture yourself as the person who wakes early, invests consistently, and leads with purpose. Reinforce that image with small daily wins until habit turns into character. From here, the next challenge is to train the mind to sustain this rhythm without slipping back into old patterns. Every big change faces resistance. The mind loves old routines and will try to pull you back, the classic rubber band effect. Strengthening your mindset is as vital as training your body. A simple practice is writing every morning 3 reasons to stay on track and 3 wins from the day before. Small, yes, but powerful proof that your journey is already underway. Surround yourself with positive influences. Study groups, accountability partners, growth-focused podcasts, and books like The Power of Habit and Mindset feed your brain with clean fuel. It's a mental diet shift. Replace negative news and toxic comparisons with ideas that build you up. Over time, your mind will naturally crave these nutrients. Another key habit is to review goals weekly, correcting what veer off course and celebrating progress. This check-in prevents a stumble from turning into a full stop and teaches you to face setbacks without drama. Remember, the goal is not perfection but consistency. From this steadiness comes the next stage, when personal transformation begins to influence those around you, multiplying change far beyond yourself. When change starts inside, its ripple effect outside is immediate. The person who once came home complaining about work now comes home talking about opportunities and new ideas. Family members notice the sparkle in their eyes and the shift in their voice. This quiet impact signals that the change isn't temporary, it's structural. Friends and colleagues see it too. What used to draw jokes, their egos waking up early, turns into admiration. Soon they start asking, "How did you do it?" That's when sharing a book like Think and Grow Rich or recommending 15 minutes of daily journaling gains real power. You move from being an example to becoming a reference point. This multiplying effect forms a network of transformation. One disciplined, responsible life can inspire many others without any sales pitch. It's like lighting one candle and passing the flame to dozens more, without losing your own light. The next challenge is not just to inspire but to maintain and expand this growth, turning today's change into tomorrow's legacy. Now it's your turn to act. Which part of your story will you rewrite today? Which excuses will you drop before the week is over? Remember, every small decision is a brick on the road to freedom. Don't wait for Monday, New Year's Day, or the next race. The perfect moment is the one you create with today's choices. So what's your first step? Will you wake up 30 minutes earlier? Finally launch that long-postponed project? Share your plan in the comments. Your decision might inspire someone else to escape autopilot too. If this message sparked something in you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here you'll find weekly ideas and tools to help you not just dream, but build a life truly worth living.